Hey, shalom, shalom. Hey, first and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahushai, Ba'asham, Rakakodash. Hey, double honors to the apostles, elders, our great millstone, salutations to Yakin that's out there doing the work of truth and in sincerity. So now y'all with the beloved truth. And as you can see on the screen, JP Morgan CEO had a dream about coronavirus killing elites in Davos. Now, the most typical thing about this article is the reaction. All right. I'm reading to it. It says, at an annual investor meeting, Jamie Dimon joked about the deadly virus by saying, I had this nightmare that somehow in Davos, all of us who went there got it. And then we all left and spread it. The only good news from that is that it might have just killed the elite. All right. His comments were met with laughs. All right. His comments were met with laughs. So that shows you what type of spirit that these people have on them, a proud, haughty spirit. And they believe that this is just a joke. This is all just a game to them, you know. And the reality of it is that this definitely could strike the elite just as well as the poorest people on the planet. In fact, um, due to what Esau is doing, his agenda, it's clear as day that they want to infect everybody um, because they want you know mandatory vaccinations and the way Esau has it set up, he has it set up perfect. Okay. Um, but yeah, these chain of events are going to lead to the RFID chip. Okay. Um, there's an article with ID 2020 about ID 2020 and vaccinations and the RFID chip, which all play hand in hand. All right. If you notice what's going on in China, there's draconian law. So, mandatory quarantine, authorities forcing people to, wear masks and, detaining people if they're not wearing masks. So, and, you see other articles talking about America preparing for the virus. Virus is already here. And all Trump has to do is, declare a state of an emergency and force people to take these vaccinations. And so you can see these things starting to line up perfectly. All these chain of events are going to lead to these, to the days that we've been hoping for. All right. But it's going to come um, not like many expected. And it's going to come, and it's going to come unawares. And, it's just the point of this lesson, something quick, just to point out the obvious, but yeah, so let's get into it. So Salaki. All right. So my first precept is Ecclesiastes 12:1. It says, remember now thy creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. All right. So the Lord has given us a grace period to remember him in the days of our youth. Why? Because your youth, that's when you're strongest, right? And so that's when you're supposed to be pretty much turning to the Lord with all of your strength, seeking the Lord through these scriptures, of course, with the right understanding. All right. Because there's only one understanding, there's only one truth. Okay. And for the most part, we see. All right. It says, while the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain. All right. It says, because that the season is going to change, man. The season, the times that we live in are going to change, man. All right. Things are going to change, but they're going to change for the worse for the world, because the Lord is coming to plague the world for their wickedness. All right. So it says, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease, because they are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened. All right. And so that's going to come. As you see, the keepers of the house are the ones that the top hold the top offices in government. All right. And these elites, they do all their traveling. They do all their councils. council meetings and their round table meetings, their summits, so on and so forth. You know, the Lord, these plagues are aiming at everybody. Okay, so they're going to tremble in that day. Not only, you know, because we already know World War III is looming. It's being cultivated, um, and these plagues are take. So this is like mass confusion. This is like the world is being perplexed with all type of things, and that's according to Matthew 24. When you read it, that's exactly what's going on. That's the scenario we're given. We're actually seeing in our reality. All right. So it says, it says, and the door shall be shut in the streets when the sound of grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. All right. And so the entertainment in this society is going to be taken away right along with a lot of other things. But it's all due to the Most High, the Heavenly Father. All right. And also, verse 5, also when they shall be afraid of that which is high, and fear shall be in the way, and the almond tree shall flourish, and the grasshopper shall be a burden, and desire shall fail, because men go to his long home, and the mourners go about the streets. And it's funny you mentioned the grasshopper, because you got swarms of locusts that's really taking over certain parts. I guess they're going to Arabia is having a problem now, you know. But the door shall be shut in the streets. Okay, there ain't gonna be no. It's just like Wuhan and certain cities in China are closed off to the public. It's gonna be the same here. It's gonna be a mandatory curfew, quarantines, internment camps. It's gonna be a national emergency. All right, and so we're seeing it all play out. All right, so Salaki. Next scripture. Uh, Next scripture, I'll go to Lamentations. All right, Salakia. Lamentations. No, not Lamentations, Thessalonians. No, First Thessalonians. It's 5:1. In fact, before I get that, let me get second address. 16. Okay. And I'm not going to try to make this long. I'm going to just read these two and then close out, because, these chain of events, man, is quite obvious, man. It's a perfect scene out of a movie. You got the elites laughing it up. And some might say, of course, it's a biochemical weapon that was created in a lab. Of course, that's without question. But as the scriptures say, the Lord hath committed the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire to bring forth the instrument. You know, so ultimately it's the Lord. You know, so that's one thing to pay attention to. And the scriptures say, Jeremiah, the 10th chapter, be not dismayed at the signs of heaven. And that's one of the signs of heaven, the plagues. Okay. So 2 Ezra 16:1, it says, woe be unto thee, Babylon and Asia. Woe be unto thee, Egypt, Syria. All right. Gird up yourselves with cloths of sack and hair. Bewail your children and be sorry, for your destruction is at hand. A sword is sent unto you, and who may turn it back? A fire is sent among you, and who may quench it? Plagues are sent unto you, and what is he that may drive them away? May any man drive away an hungry lion in the wood, or may any one quench the fire in the stubble when it has begun to burn? All right, and that's how the plagues are going to come. All right, it's likened unto a hungry lion in the wood. All right, those are the spirits created for vengeance, whether it be through plagues, whether it be through any form of destruction. I think it's Sirach, the 39th chapter, that explains that. You know, that but the scriptures also say these things are sent, scourges are sent for amendments. The word amendment means to change. Change. What change is coming? The change the of the wicked rulership. That's coming to an end. All right, and the change, the righteous being put in their stead. All right, because as Sirach 10:8 says, through what it says, Salakia. I know I quote it, but I don't want to butcher it, so I'm gonna read it from my Bible. All right, Salakia. Oh, it says unrighteous dealings and riches. Well, I'll read it, Salakia. This is Sirach 10:8. You ain't gonna see it on the screen, so forgive me. Sirach 10:8 says, because of unrighteous dealings and injuries and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. So we know that the current leading body or the current establishment has gotten this world by unrighteous gains, all right, and riches got by injuries, slavery, other exploits, capitalism, you know, by cutting nations off. We understand, but the Lord has it out for this society. He has it out for the leaders of the society, starting with the leaders, all the way down to the poorest. The Lord's going to judge the whole earth. All right. So Salaki is 2 Ezra 16:7. May one turn again the arrow that is shot of a strong archer. You know, the mighty Lord sendeth the plagues, and who is he that can drive them away? A fire shall go forth from his wrath, and who is he that may quench it? All right, and nobody. The question is really rhetorical. No one. All right, no one can stop this. And the Most High is not. He's not repenting of sending these plagues. All right, he's not turning back, and that's basically what it's saying. You know, uh, verse 14. Behold, the plagues are sent, and shall not return again until they come upon the earth. The fire is kindled and shall not be put out till it consume the foundation of the earth. Like as an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer returneth not backward, even so the plagues that shall be sent upon the earth shall not return again. Woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? All right, and so Ezra got to see the chain of events that we currently see, and that we're so close to hitting home. All right. And that's what type of spirit he was in. Woe is me, woe is me. Who shall deliver me in those days? All right. It says the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils come? Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. All right. So these things are sent for amendment, all right, for changes. But for all these things, they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges, all right. And so these people are not going to care. They're going to continue to be proud and haughty. And that's why the Lord is going to have to come and shake this place up, and he's going to have to reveal himself. He's going to crack the sky, as we say, all right. And when he cracks the sky, that's when it's over with. So Slovakia, what else? Oh, so I had Thessalonian 5:1. I'm cut it on here. Because I just want this to be quick. Because the earth is being perplexed with all type of things. Sometimes Jake will be like, is this going to happen? Then this, and these are all happening at once. Now the major prophecies, which the elders, apostles at Great Millstone have made clear. The last two prophecies, the major prophecy before World War III is the RFID chip, which is the mark of the beast. Now we're at the stage where it's going to be mandatory to take vaccinations, and based on how they want to give it out, whether it be through a RFID chip, because uh, they can release a vaccination through these different means of or tools that they use, mainly the RFID chip. That is the ultimate goal. All right, and we see things lining up perfectly for them to do that. I want to read just a tad bit of the article. I might do it in another lesson just to show you how close we are to the RFID chip. And hey, the scripture says our salvation is nearer than what we believe. But of course, through great tribulation shall we enter into the kingdom of heaven. So there's going to be a lot of things going on and taking place in this society uh, to get to where we need to be. You know. So First Thessalonians 5:1. But of the times and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you, for yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. All right, meaning basically you're gonna be unaware. When a thief comes, you're gonna be unaware. You're gonna be asleep. You're gonna be comfortable. You're gonna be doing what you're doing, and you're not gonna have any idea of what's really taking place, and that is the setting in which we live in right now in this current world. Even the people at the very top places in offices, they have absolutely no idea. You see in how they laughing at the idea of them being catching the disease, which the elites could turn on the elites. You see, they always lie to each other anyway at the very highest rungs within their society. So that's one thing to notice. But all these people are against each other, man. Esau is really trying to pull everybody down with him as he goes down. So Salakia, it says, for when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. All right. But ye, brethren, are not in darkness, that day should overtake you as a thief. Ye are all the children of light and the children of the day. We are not of the night, nor of darkness. Therefore, let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober. All right. And all we can do is watch and be sober minded and not indulge in the things of the world or uh, have the mentality as people do in the world, you know, because we could be worried about what bill we're going to pay or we're worried about all these. Look, there's going to come a time where the society is going to shut down. The government is going to shut down. People ain't going to be receiving checks. People ain't going to be going to the mall. People ain't going to be going to McDonald's, or Wendy's, and stuff like that to buy food and all this other stuff. Okay, and that goes back to the Ecclesiastes 12. All right, so I'll stop it right there because we can go to Psalms 91 and the scriptures tell you what's going to happen to the elect. There's gonna be mass death. I'm gonna get straight to the point on here. This is Psalms 91 and 7. This is the reality, man. All right, this is the reality. Okay, it says Psalm 91 and 7. It says 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. Only with thine eyes shalt thou behold and see the reward of the wicked, because thou hast made the Lord Yahweh, which is my refuge, even the Most High, thy habitation. All right. And so the Lord is going to guard us from the things that's coming. All right. It says, there shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling. For he shall give his angels charge over thee to keep thee in all thy ways. All right. And so that's going to be the miracle that the Lord is going to be pulling over his chosen. Okay. They shall tread upon the lion and adder and the young lion, and the dragon shall thou trample under. Yep, yep. So, and that's just what it is, man. That's promise. So we have to know that. Okay. Jeremiah 30 and well, yeah. Jeremiah 30 and 7. This is part of Jacob's trouble as well. All right. All these chain events that's happening. Martial law, we know ultimately martial law which is going to culminate um, from you know, this new national emergency that they're going to call when the vaccine when the plague starts to grow overwhelmingly in America. It's going to be a national emergency, you know. And so Jacob's trouble is going to come like that because ultimately their agenda is to give that chip out. You know, their ultimate goal is to give that chip out. All right, and they're going to do it by way of the guise of people having to be vaccinated. And if you're not vaccinated, you could be quarantined, which we're seeing going on in China right now. Jeremiah 30:7, the last for that day is great, that's so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. He, meaning the elect. All right, and Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakodash, a double honors to the apostles, elders at great millstone, citation to Yakin that's out there doing the work of truth and sincerity. Shalom.